Hello and welcome to Saturday the 9th of September. My name's Super Saiyan and this is your pre-order video guide ready for next week when you're going to get all your new models and things. I'm going to talk about Death Guard and all the new releases that they put on there. I haven't looked at them yet, so this is going to be my sort of first initial impressions, I suppose, first look. But before we do that, let's just hop on over to Forgeworld. So as you can see on Forgeworld's website, they've now got the Legion Sicaran Omega tank on their website to pre-order. And yeah, you've got a little advert for the Thousand Suns Praetor still. So if we hop on over to new, what we've got here is you've got the long-ranged support spearhead detachment, £200 there. You're not saving any money than buying them all separate, so take that as you will. £200 for 4 models. Yeah, it's up to you. But then they've got the Sicaran tank hunters here. So you've got the Venator and the Omega tank destroyer. It's important to note that the Omega tank destroyer, I've got a video coming very shortly. I'll try and get it up today. It's an in-depth look at the rules that they've released for it for both 40k and Horus Heresy. But I'll tell you right now that the Sicaran Venator there, the range of that weapon is 36 inches and the range of the Omega plasma array is only 24 inches. So, however, they do make up for that because they're fast tanks. Then you can get the Sicaran tank collection, which has all of the 4 variants. So you've got the Punisher, the Omega, the standard Sicaran, and the Arcus. However, it just says 4 models, so it doesn't include the Venator. That's a bit poor. Why? But then again, that's £319 for 4 resin tanks. The only difference with all of them is just the top turrets. If they're doing bundles like this and they sell Dreadnought close combat weapons and small weapons like that separately, they should really be selling the turrets separately. There's no way it's not like you can get the resin Sicaran chassis separate from somewhere, from a reseller or wherever. So it's in their best interest to sell those turrets separately, and I think they should do that. And then finally, the main meal is the Sicaran Omega tank. I feel that the 40k rules are a bit of a letdown, but the Horus Heresy rules are a bit better. The 40k rules, I think they're looking at it from the point of view that it's very unstable technology, because it was sort of came about in the Horus Heresy and it was pretty unstable back then, and so now I think they're sort of playing on that in the 41st millennium. But Horus Heresy, yeah, it's sort of okay in the Horus Heresy rules wise. It's got a nice sort of plasma burn sort of ability. It's a good looking tank, I think. Now that they've got these pictures of it and you can actually see it from different views. I have a review of this. I'll put it in the description. You know, feel free to go and have a look at that. But that's the main thing that they've got for pre-order this Saturday, ready to be released next weekend. So there you go, that's that. Now let's pop on over to Games Workshop, to the web store, and have a look at all these new Death Guard goodies. So this is what we've got right here. You've got advert for the Death Guard, you've got these the Plague Brethren, and then you've got these sort of squidgy kind of dice. I'll have a look at those in a moment. But if we click pre-order now, unfortunately I'm not in a position to get any of these pre-orders. I'd love to, I really would. There's nothing more that I would like than to order these right now today and get them and unbox them and review them all next weekend, but I'm not in a position to do that at the moment. If you want to support the channel, if you like the video and subscribe, leave a comment, they all help. If you can't support via Patreon or anything like that, but no doubt I'll be covering all of this Death Guard release with these kind of videos. So let's have a look what we've got. So if we do view all first of all, and this is it. So this is all the releases. So what we've got here is Nurgle's gift collection. We'll have a look at that in a moment. But the main sort of centerpieces seems to be the Codex Death Guard, I'll have a look at that. You've got a collector's edition, which is double the price, and you get a page turner and a different front cover because they're both hardback, and you get different colour paper edges. That's it for double the price. So let's have a look at the limited edition for £120. So you're talking of £95 more. Let's have a look at these. So here's the Codex, £25, 104 pages, not too bad, but 100 pages I would have been looking at sort of closer to 20. But Death Guard have never had a separate army before, I don't think. I think they've always been included in other Chaos books. That's a nice looking piece of artwork though. Again, lovely piece of artwork. And colours, and there you go. So that's the Codex that's coming out next weekend, so you can pre-order it now. So you've then obviously got the collector's edition, which is £50, and then the limited edition. I always thought that it would be the other way around. I thought the limited would be the £50 one, and the collector's edition would include all the collectible items. That's just my way of looking at it. But this limited edition, it says here, it just says available while stocks last. It doesn't say how many are available or anything like that, which is a bit silly. I think they should actually put how many there are. You've got a rust evoking box apparently, so you get a box with it. You get the exclusive artwork, rough textured finish and black gilt edging, 6 metal markers, 3-wheel gaming tracker, 7 large format psychic cards, and a double-sided poster for your £95 more. So it's up to you. If you really like Death Guard and you've got a Death Guard army and you've been waiting for years and years, this might be up your street. And then we've got this Nurgle's gift collection, which looks like it includes that limited edition, that's the one, and it also looks like it's got the dice and some extra cards, and yeah, I think that's it really, for about what, £20 more or so. So that's the Nurgle's gift collection. And then before we move on to Mortarion, let's just have a little look at the dice. £12.50. They have a soft inner core, providing an unpleasant rotting effect. I don't know whether they've sprayed them in, you know, scratch and sniff kind of stuff, but that would have been cool if they did, if they had an unpleasant smell. At least you could blame it on your dice. But yeah, they've got this rotting effect. Doesn't look like the easiest to see. I mean, if the sides were slightly different colours, or the boils were different colours, I think that would stand out more. But yeah, they don't look like the, I mean, texture wise, probably they feel great, but they don't look like the easiest sort of dice to use on a gaming table. Hey, at least they're not going to chip and damage your models, are they? Unlike the heavy metal dice. Okay, and finally, let's have a look at Mortarion. Again, not a big fan of the colour scheme that they've gone for, the paint scheme or anything like that. I'd much rather that he was, you know, darker, dirtier, just fit in more with the sort of Death Guard kind of look. I think they've used these bright blues, they've used these purples and pinks, and that's just the way they painted it. And you know, that model didn't turn out by accident like that. They asked people, they paid people to paint the model to come up and make it look like that, and they do that for all their models, because the way they paint them will influence whether you're gonna buy them, how appealing they are. Looks like a good model. You know, sculpt wise, he's got these supports of wisps of air on the rocks. He's got these little nurglings and familiars and things. You know, he's got a funny like hood and mask. The wings look very sort of leathery, and he's got some fur on the top. Then you can have him with his scythe in the other hand, and his pistol aiming. I'd probably go for that pose actually. I quite like that pose. With the lantern, and the scythe is called Silence. So yeah, I mean, it's another Primarch. We've got another Demon Primarch. It's great that we had Magnus. Magnus is £5 cheaper. Mortarion is £5 more. But again, if you've got Death Guard army and you want a huge centerpiece, then this is going to be your model. And like I said before, I'd love to get him, but unfortunately I'm going to have to skip out this time. So that is all of your new releases, the pre-orders and things. And then finally we've got the Plague Brethren. Now you can pre-order these with Mortarion, which I think is a good idea, to get them both. But then you're looking at £110. So the Plague Brethren, £25 for 3 models. What extras do they have? You get 3 sort of unique Death Guard Marines. You get Blight Stalker, Dipteron, and Corpulux. So you've got Dipteron, which is this guy who's got the melter gun, and you get a nice little 360-degree view of him. I do like his canisters on the back and his potato masher. It looks out of place, sort of, you know, in that angle, but still. And the horns look really excellent. Then Blight Stalker, he's got a sinister gas mask. Bolter and Blight Grenade, which is definitely this guy. I really like him. I like these little flies and this little nurgling thing, and his Blight Grenade, which is like a skull. And then finally we've got Corpulux, bloated, diseased. He's got a plague knife and a blight bomb, and the blight bomb is made out of a victim's head. So let's I think it's on the back of the model, I don't think it's on the front. Yeah, there's the blight bomb just there, made out of a head. So, and I like the plague knife too. I like these veins and things in it. Yeah, I mean, obviously stunningly painted and things, but yeah, I really like those 3 models. In terms of the extras that you get, it looks like you get, it says extra content. It's not really extra, you're paying for that in your £25 for 3 models. You get a 20-page booklet. You'll find some incredibly interesting, not interesting, but incredibly, an interview with the designer, giving you an insight in the background of each miniature, and so on. And then you've also got the 3 art cards. Sorry about that. Yeah, you've got the 3 art cards featuring a Potswalker, Plague Marine, and Mortarion, rendered by John Blanche. So that's part of the book, and they are the 3 art cards. So maybe that artwork has appeared before if it's John Blanche, but to be fair, I would have liked artwork in those art prints as well as those. I would have asked for another 3, but have some 3 artwork showing these 3 Death Guard in a battlefield or in some kind of scenario. I would have really liked to see it, because they're making a big deal about this, and I wonder whether it's just a load of information put in a little 20-page booklet, which is, if it's double-sided, it's going to be 10 physical pages, isn't it? You know, and then three art cards that are just bundled in. I really do question this, and I would have loved to have pre-ordered it and then unboxed it and given you my opinions on whether it's worth it. But like everyone, I'm going to be watching somebody else's unboxing and their initial impressions, and I'll probably put a comment on their video. So there you go. That is all of the pre-orders for this week, and unfortunately that is it. That's as far as my White Dwarf covers. It doesn't cover what's going to be pre-ordered next week or the week after, which is a shame. But if it's anything like the Primaris release, you can expect that nice looking plague tank, the Terminators, Typhus himself, Death Guard, Potswalkers, an individual bloat drone, things like that. You can expect all those. And yeah, definitely check out my channel next weekend, and I'll be releasing another video going through those pre-orders too. So thank you ever so much for your support. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.